Welcome to our 5 on 5. Pleased to be joined today by Ben Truwe, a trustee at the Southern Oregon Historical Society. Good to see you, Ben. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, my pleasure. So you're a local historian. What got you into digging into Southern Oregon's past?
Oh, Lord. Well, just reading casually like most people, I kept running across stuff that couldn't possibly be true. And a lot of our local history is really mythology. So if you dig behind the mythology, you can find the real story. And it's endlessly fascinating. And we're really blessed here because we have such a broad array of surviving historical documents that tell you what actually happened. We don't have to be content with mythology.
Yeah. What you've been doing this for a few years. What's caught your eye the most? What's been the most interesting for you to learn?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it's hard to pick one. I understand that.
just the fact that a lot of our history was really formulated prior to the time when all of the actual sources became available. We didn't have microfilm of the early newspapers until the 1960s. So that's really pretty late. So a lot of the stories that you hear, like the story about Medford once being a town called Middleford, that never happened, Indians jumping off Table Rock, that didn't happen, and just on and on and on. And there are real stories that give that typically mythology has a germ of truth, and it's interesting to find the real story that gave rise to the mythology.
Okay, yeah, absolutely interesting. So you recently, I understand, uncovered a ledger that dates back to Southern Oregon's Indian War history. Tell us about that.
Oh, it's just it's a ledger which is the medical records of the Jacksonville Hospital during the Indian Wars, 1855 to 56, and it's just really cool because it gives you a day-by-day account of the treating these soldiers, some of whom actually had battle wounds, but a lot of them were just in there for diseases, even venereal diseases, or you're just a kid, you wouldn't know what a venereal disease is. What do they call them now? STDs.
I believe
STDs.
That's
there you go.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll have much more in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Ben Truwe, a trustee at the Southern Oregon Historical Society. So, Ben, we're talking a lot about the stuff you've done over the years, but what are you currently working on?
Well, I'm always working on my website. My website's really out of control. It's now over 800 pages. There's just no end to local history.
Yeah.
And you'll probably put the chiron on. You can find it at medfordhistory.com. But I'm you could look at me as the poster child for local history because there's just such a broad range of opportunities and needs. Like I spend my time moving heavy objects at Hanley Farm for the Historical Society, just moving tables from one side of the farm to the other, tables and chairs and tables. And I work on our fire engine, which we're bringing back to operating condition. We recently acquired the Jacksonville's, or rather Ashland's, amphibious fire engine.
Yeah.
So we're bringing that back to life, and I always researching, transcribing. And and of course I volunteer at the Historical Society. One thing I do there at the research library is I transfer film, 16 millimeter film, to video. In fact, I'm working on your film right now, KOBI's film.
Yeah.
I've started in 1964, I'm up to 1967, and I could use your help. I could use KOBI's help.
Hey, you're in the building.
I could use some technical assistance.
Okay.
And I could use assistance with a TS on the end too, because I could, I've been doing this for 2 years, and I'm only about 10% done with SOHS's vast film collection. I could really use some help.
Okay.
And the best way for people...
I'll do what I can. I'll take you around the corner. It's unfortunately not in the studio. It's just you and me in here.
but I'm reaching out to your audience as well, because the SOHS really needs help. His local history needs help. We need people, we need bodies. One thing we're doing at the research library is expanding our hours to Saturday. So this opens up, we can actually reach out to people who have to work for a living, who can come in, and you no longer have to be a passive consumer of local history. You can actually do actual research on Saturday as a volunteer at the Historical Society Library.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad you guys are expanding. That's very exciting, and it's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Stay with us. We'll be right back.